So you still think that Mr. P is innocent, showing up at the right times with the right potions? Well, if you think that, today's video should actually change your mind. Mr. P is evil. That's just my opinion, but I am gonna give you guys some facts and also some theories that may potentially persuade your mind if you're thinking that Mr. P is innocent. Also, if you do enjoy these videos, feel free to leave a like on it and also share it, and feel free to subscribe for more. It really shows your support for the channel. I love doing these theory videos and they're a lot of fun to make. So again, if you have any theories on what you think, feel free to comment them down below. In today's video, we will be talking about some theories, and with my thoughts and facts and your thoughts and facts, I think we're gonna get to the bottom of this. Okay, are you ready? Let's get this started. Grab your favorite snack and here we go. So the first time we get introduced again by Mr. P is in chapter 4. Now I'm also going to talk about some more doggy theories as well as if Doggy's even still alive. Now a lot of you may be wondering, Big B, what are you talking about? Doggy is alive. We saw Doggy in the hospital perfectly fine. Now I did do a video covering up about the Doggy scene. So basically what happens is, in chapter 4, I believe, which is the forest, what happens is that this is also the first chapter that I would say you get introduced to Mr. P. You don't really exactly know who it is yet, but someone radios in and says, "Hello, are you there?" And you kind of get that at the end of chapter 4. And then you start chapter 5 where you're going to the school, and then on the radio that is perfectly placed, let's just say right outside the forest. And Mr. P's there, of course, and you know, coming to your rescue. Let's just say that. So right after something evil happens, guess who shows up? Mr. P. Now, before I get into too much detail just yet, I do want to point out that he wants to meet in the sewers. I mean, no one asked to meet in the sewers. You got to be evil, right? No, on the side note though, every time something evil happens, if you're wondering, while we're in the school, there's literally no evil. There's nothing evil around. Why? Because Mr. P is nowhere to be found. Now, a lot of people are also thinking that Mr. P is setting you up. And it's really cool to see that a lot of you guys are also siding with me, saying that Mr. P is evil. I think Mr. P is evil. I'm going to stick with Mr. P being evil. And not to mention, I did have the theory of, not just to say like Mr. P, Mr. Potato. What I thought again, what if it was Mr. Piggy? And the one thing I didn't even think about, what is also P as well, is Mr. Potion. I mean, he's just completely evil, okay? I mean, I have to be proven something otherwise. I mean, again, it could turn out that there's also going to be 12 chapters in Piggy, so it can possibly turn out that maybe Piggy is innocent. But until I see otherwise, I, again, am sticking with Piggy being on the bad side. Because again, when we think about all the occurrences that are happening, chapter 4, we hear the potion. I mean, poor Doggy as well. If I want to touch on that topic, is you go to the forest with Doggy. First, you escape with Doggy as well. You get to the monsters, the gallery. In the gallery, chapter 3, Doggy is completely fine. And at this point, there is no hallucination. So I forgot, I think, to talk about the hospital scene, because a lot of people think that you saw Doggy in the hospital, but you were actually hallucinating. So if you don't know what that means you were just kind of dreaming in a way. So you didn't actually see Doggy. Doggy's still missing. And I also still have that feeling that maybe Doggy's actually dead. I'm really curious to see if they're gonna bring back Doggy somehow at some point, but part of me feels like maybe Doggy is dead. I mean, that's a bad way to think at this point, but at this point, again, we don't know what's going on. I mean, I don't trust anybody in this, and we did trust Bunny, but there was also, I know at the end where you go to the, I forget, I think it was at the end of the hospital, I did also think that Bunny was evil at the end of that, which, I mean, it turns out it wasn't. Bunny does get sick, but there was a scene at the end, and you could definitely tell that something was up with Bunny, and I'm sure Bunny will be turning evil in the next chapters. So we do need to be on the lookout for that. I'll probably touch more on that topic at a later point. But yes, so Doggy. So Doggy is evil. You and Doggy are in the forest, and basically what happens is that, you know, it goes to the cutscene, it gets dark, you hear a potion splash, and then you hear Doggy wolf. I mean, Doggy can't talk, but I'm sure Doggy was crying out for help then. Bam, Mr. P gave Doggy a potion. Now what I'm trying to figure out is, we know where that actually happened. And again, that was 4 weeks and a night that it happened. Like it actually said 4 weeks later this happened. And yeah, so Doggy is actually evil during the forest bit. And then after that, you hallucinate, you see Doggy in the hospital, which is completely fine. And who's to say that these chapters actually go in order? This could be a thing where, let's say, again, I always had that thought that you start out in the hospital, and then from the hospital, you're just dreaming. So let's just say those 3 potion bottles that we see in the hospital, what if one of that was you, one was Bunny, and one was Doggy? And then you're just hallucinating, or you're just in some massive big nightmare. That could also be a thing as well. But one fact that we do know, Doggy is missing and something is wrong with Bunny. So Mr. P is definitely figuring out a way to actually poison them, or say that it's the cure, but actually poisoning them and trying to kind of get them to kind of kill us, I would say, because a lot of people are also thinking, which this was a really good theory, and you guys are coming up with some amazing theories in the comments. I just want to say the way you are thinking is incredible. All right, so you know at the end of the forest how you have the radio and it's like, hello, is anyone out there? What if like Mr. P, this is Mr. P on the radio talking, by the way, what if it's like he was just checking to see if Doggy actually killed you? So that's also a theory that Mr. P is giving them, like giving Doggy the potion to kill you. And now being that you're stuck with Bunny now also has the potion as well and will kill you. So it was almost like a check-in to see if it actually worked, because again, they are turning evil. These monsters are turning evil. And a lot of people are thinking like the hints are at the beginning of the gallery. Like you can kind of tell the monsters and things like that. And also, again, Doggy was completely fine there, but now we know that Doggy's evil, and technically from this point, what we know is that we haven't seen Doggy since the forest. So I would even say that the forest is where potentially Doggy's died. Like that is, we don't know where Doggy is. Let's just say that. I don't know if Doggy will make a return. If so, that would be awesome. I mean, I think Doggy's definitely your partner, man's best friend. That's where Doggy kind of comes from. So I do think you are a detective, you are a cop, and Doggy is also your partner. I mean, Doggy's also driving you around. You're kind of like the sidekick in this. So Mr. P seems like, you know, trying to get to you, I would say. But there was a really good theory on the channel by someone named Matt Burdett. I'll see if I can pop it up on the screen at all. But they said, plot twist, Mr. P is really Dr. Jane from the movie Carnosaur in disguise, and is making the potions to give characters the killer instinct of her flesh-eating dinos, and is infecting everyone while trying to manipulate you into helping her create enough potions to turn everyone prehistoric and have dinosaurs rule the world, because she believes that dinosaurs should be the dominant species, not humans. Oh my goodness. And then they also say, in the end, Dr. Jane reveals herself and has the antidote, but in order to get it, you have to defeat a super. Oh my goodness. Now, what skin just came out? Dino Piggy, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is scary. Okay, this is actually terrifying right now. Now, if that doesn't sound on point to this, then I have no idea what. It just, honestly, this sounds like such a good reference to how I feel that Mr. P is kind of pretending to be something that Mr. P is not, in a way, and just really trying to actually trick you. Now, the cool thing is that the board, a lot of you guys did comment about the board that was actually decoded. Now, I don't know who the original founder of the board was, but it might be someone named Devon, D-E-V-O-U-N. That's their channel. And if we look at the board here, I did see this comment too, but this tweet was also out by Minitoon as well. And the board is actually decoded. Yes, the chalkboard with the Z's on it. And it translates apparently to, I feel everything I do. I can't control my actions. I can't help myself. My mind yells for help, but my body does not agree. I wish the world would understand. Now, I did get this comment again on my channel as well from someone named Wirith Salem, and also Random Loop, who also did this as well, and who says the hidden message on the chalkboard can be decoded using Caesar cipher method with the key equals 9. So very, very cool. Very, very interesting then. So that means that the monsters aren't, the monsters are aware that things are going on. Maybe, I don't know who would have written this on the board at least. What do you all think? I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Like, who would have written this? I'm also trying to figure out the timeline between when would, Mr. P have the time to give the potion to Bunny, unless Bunny's already evil. There's a lot of things to get into to why some of the animals or some of the monsters already have one red eye and Bunny has the eye patch. So maybe that eye patch, well, the eye under Bunny is actually red. So who knows, maybe Bunny can actually control it. But those are my thoughts on this. Again, to sum this all up, I have to say that Mr. P is just evil. There's no way about it. I mean, Mr. P is definitely controlling. And again, that theory from that movie Connoisseur really matches things up. It's super scary how it does as well. And again, a lot of people are thinking that Mr. P actually kidnapped George, because we did get the clues that George is missing as well. Like we saw that in chapter 3 that George was missing. So during these times, again, Mr. P, I think, is feeding these potions to them, making them aggressive to eventually take you out and try to take you out. Again, every time you're with let's say an animal or monster, an animal by yourself, they end up turning evil. And I feel like that's what Mr. P tried to do. Mr. P tried to get you killed in the forest, and then Mr. P tried to get you killed in the hospital as well. Not just in the hospital, in the metro as well. And that's when Bunny starts feeling sick. But being Bunny is so nice, maybe Bunny's just staying there to fight the monsters off. But I'll probably get into more detail about Bunny at a later point. But I think that's going to wrap it up for today's video, ladies and gentlemen. That is it. Let me know what you guys think of this. Again, I think Doggy is your partner. There could be a possibility that Doggy is actually dead. The last time we seen Doggy was in the forest, and that was weeks ago. Someone mentioned 10 weeks. Like, I know it was 4 weeks during the forest, and then there was weeks when you were in the hospital. So I know time has definitely passed between the chapters and now, where we are closing in on chapter 8, which chapter 8 should be out this next Friday as well. So that Friday, I believe it's going to be the first Friday in April, if I'm not mistaken. So be on the lookout for that as well on the channel. But that's going to wrap it up for the video. I thank you all so much for tuning in. Again, if you did enjoy, feel free to leave a like and share it. Also, feel free to subscribe for more. And if you're new to the channel, and I would love to hear your thoughts and feedback down below in the comments. You can also use star code BIGB2 when you're getting yourself some Robux as well, if you want to support me as a creator. And again, I appreciate all your support, and I will see you in the next video.